Talk with Author Dre Lett is a show that informs, inspires, and motivates. All shows are taped in front of a live virtual audience. Make sure to follow us so you can be notified when a new show is available on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Also follow us if you want to be a part of our live tapings. Grab your beverage and snacks, get comfortable so we can let's talk. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk. I am your host, Author Dre Lett. This is the show where we inform and inspire and motivate you during these tough times and beyond. So come on in the room and have a virtual seat so we can let's talk. Hi, YouTube. I hope everything is going well over there. I'm so glad that you guys can be watching the show live on YouTube and also on Facebook. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Soon we will be streaming on several more social media outlets. So we'll have them all covered. So if you are TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, we got you covered in all areas. So excited about that. You can always view my replay shows on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube right now. But again, in the foreseeable future, we're going to be going live on the other social media platforms. And so the shows are there. I think I looked the other day, it was like 140, I want to say. It goes all the way back to where we very, very first started on my kitchen counter. Isn't God good? So thank you once again for joining us this evening. Today is June 27, 2025. It is storming big time outside. I hear all the thunder, so I'm praying that we don't lose power. But if we do, know that I'm going to come right back. So it's all good. So tonight, let's talk about our community helping college students. Yes, my special guest is Chuck Burch. He will be sharing community insights and stories about making a difference in their lives. He'll be on the virtual stage shortly. So how we do it here on Let's Talk, if you're new to the show, watching it live for the first time, we normally play a brief message, and then when we come back, I give a shout out to those of you that are watching it live. Make sure you put in the comment section your name and where you're watching it from so I can give you a shout out. If you're watching this in a replay mode, I always go back, look at the comments, and give you shout outs there as well. So at this point, we're going to have a brief message and take a listen to these messages. And we'll be back in a couple of minutes where I can give a shout out to what I call my Let's Talk fam. Okay, we'll be right back. Chuck Burch Scholarship Fund presents Skating for Scholarships, The Experience. On December 10th through the 14th in Dallas, Texas, $15 admission fee. Come out and support this tax-deductible cause to raise money for college scholarships. Each night there will be a skater showcase with prizes for the winners. Scholarships will be awarded each night. 5 skate nights, 4 skating rinks, 1 great cause. For more info, scan the QR code. Welcome to another production by DTLProductions, a leading multimedia company. Are you looking to advertise your product, service, or cause? Do you have a presence on social media? The modern way to advertise is through social media. It brings brand awareness, allows you to reach your target audience, and is cost effective. Advertising on social media will boost your sales, engage your audience effectively, increase awareness, and encourage active participation. Let us create a social media ad for you. Check out these videos produced for our past clients who were extremely satisfied with their results. Scan the QR code or email us at drelett@dtlproduct.net. Contact us. You won't be dissatisfied. Well, you guys, that was a message from our sponsors. Make sure you guys go out and support them. I'm big on entrepreneurship and any efforts to help our community. There's certain buzzwords I can't say because I might get flagged, but you guys know what to do. So definitely make sure you support them. Okay. All right. So I see quite a few of you on Let's Talk, excuse me, on YouTube. I'm so excited. It is working. So I'm so excited you guys are watching live. If you would like, give me a shout out. Tell me where you're watching it from and your name. If you're shy, I totally get it. Don't worry. We've got plenty of time in the near future, God willing. But I'm so excited to have YouTube. But those in Facebook that join me typically every time I go live, they know the drill. So let's go ahead and say hello to those that aren't too scared. Hubby, one of the producers. Mwah, hey, babe. Thank you for your love and support. Yes, indeed. We got mommy in love. She gonna get me, but I don't care. Love you. Happy belated birthday. She gonna get me, y'all. And we got Carla. Yes, she is watching. Hey, sis, how are you? I haven't seen you in a minute. Hope all is well. Thank you for your love and support. And like I said, it's quite a few of you. I'm so excited. I'm so excited you guys are watching. Those are the ones that weren't too scared. But don't worry, you got plenty of opportunity to say hello and things like that. So let's get into our traditional hot topics. As you guys know, there's so much going on in the world. I'm like, what do you talk about? And as those of you that do know, I don't get into politics. I'm not going there because I'm not trying to wake up in an El Salvador prison. So I'm not touching politics. And those of you watching for the first time, don't go there either. We just don't want to get flagged. We don't want that kind of drama. Okay. So the first hot topic, I live in Atlanta, Georgia. And I don't know if you guys saw the news, but I was working and I saw something flash across my phone saying that people in Georgia saw a fireball in the sky. The first thing I thought of was, oh Lord, this is it. This is it. Either it's somebody hitting us or Jesus is coming. I don't know, whatever it was. I was not looking out the window. I said my prayers and I said, Lord, please let me make it into heaven. And I went back to work like, okay. I didn't even look at it, but later on that night, I did look at the news and I did see it coming out the sky. And man, it was amazing. It's like, whoa, what is that? And why didn't they know it was, how did they not know it was coming to warn us or anything? So, of course, you've got your conspiracy theorists, and some of them on social media. I saw this one girl said that it's a war in up in the stars, and I'm thinking, what is this? Star Wars? Come on, stop it! But then again, the way this world is going right now, I would not be surprised. She's talking about other aliens. You're gonna start seeing them, and I'm like, oh my gosh! But hey, like I said, stuff is going so crazy. I probably wouldn't even be shocked. So that is definitely a hot topic. But it was a pretty thing. But I still don't. We don't know what it was. I guess a man had a little rock that went through his roof. But I'm like, surely that thing had to be bigger than that. So hopefully we'll find out more, right? All right, so next hot topic I want to share with you guys, according to WSB TV, that's a local news station here in Atlanta. We were one of those states that had hot temperatures. I think the other day it was like 103 degrees. It was so hot. And so they're saying with the soaring temperatures around the country, the climate crisis is just not an environmental or economic issue. It's also a growing mental health concern. I didn't even know this. So it's saying that rising global temperatures have been linked to increased psychological distress, including higher rates of anxiety, depression, and even suicide. Vulnerable groups such as young people, older adults, and those with pre-existing mental health conditions are especially at risk. Wow. Experts are now paying closer attention to how chronic heat exposure can elevate stress, impair cognitive function, and worsen mental health outcomes, particularly among youth who face the long-term impacts of climate change. So that's kind of wow. So what I would give my 2 cents to that would just say, hey, listen, make sure if you're in one of those hot states, make sure you stay cool, drink plenty of water. If your AC isn't up, go to the mall and walk around. It's always cool in there. Or go watch a movie at the theater. I know every time I go to the movie, no matter what the season is, it's freezing cold in there. I always bring a little jacket. So I know it's cold in there. So go in there. And also be a little smart. Don't go to Six Flags if it's 103 degrees and you haven't drank no water in days. Like, that's not smart. So make sure you make wise decisions and just find something to do to stay cool, and check in on your seniors. Oh my goodness. There was a lady, I think in Missouri, she was found dead. Her AC had to go on out. She had no power. So make sure you check in on the seniors during these hot temperatures. And moving on to the next hot topic. According to R. Kelly's attorneys, Lord Jesus, the singer R. Kelly alleges mistreatment after hospitalization and a prison murder plot. R. Kelly's attorneys claim the singer collapsed in prison and was hospitalized due to a medication overdose, which they allege was intentional. In court filings, they accused federal prison officials of orchestrating a murder plot by soliciting white supremacist gang members to kill him, allegedly to prevent the release of damaging information. Kelly, who was serving time in North Carolina for X crimes, we're going to want to get flagged, and racketeering, was reportedly placed in solitary confinement after these claims surfaced. Government lawyers have dismissed the allegations as a fanciful conspiracy. What do y'all think about that? I'm speechless. I am so speechless on this one. Truly, I don't even know how to respond. What do you guys think? I know that I did see where the girl who's from Georgia, I guess her name is Joycelyn or something like that. She did go out there and she did say that she proposed to him and he accepted. And I'm like, this is getting crazy. So I don't know what to believe. I don't know how to feel. All I can say is that I just truly hope that justice is served, whether he did it or not, or I don't know. What do y'all think? Y'all tell me y'all thoughts on that in the comment section. And I'll always go back and check it at the replay phase of things. And the next hot topic, I thought this was kind of cool. What do y'all think of getting advice from a chat GPT? That's an AI, right? I know a couple people that swear by this, right? They like how they can share some things and don't have to worry about people judging them or giving them bad advice. So they'll talk to their chat GPT. At first, when I heard it, I was like, what? But then I've been hearing more of it, did a little research on it, and a lot of people are actually using it. According to Google's AI overview, I like using Google's AI overview. It gives you so much information, right? So it says for general advice, ChatGPT 4.0 is a strong choice. It offers a balance of speed, reliability, and the ability to handle a wide range of tasks, including image analysis and voice conversations. But if you're looking for a more empathetic and natural sounding interaction, Claude, yes, a man's name Claude, Claude, is a good alternative for specific tasks like relationship advice, things like that. Like you can ask it any questions, like, my boyfriend didn't call me when he said he was, how should I handle that? And Claude will tell you his thoughts. So, it is an app. You can download it from the App Store if you've got Apple products, or go to the Google Store if you got Android, but you can definitely download it to your phone or your PCs or your MacBooks. And, I don't know. I think I might try it out just for kickers and ask it something like, is it appropriate to wear white after Labor Day? I don't know. I just want to see what it would say, what it's like, right? Because I do have AI. I'm not gonna say her name because she might wake up, but the one that Amazon provides. I have her and I love it. I ask about the weather and everything. So you guys let me know if that's something that you think would be kind of cool to just, I don't know, act as a therapist, give relationship advice, what have you. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts about that, you guys. And like I said, so many of you are watching. I'm so excited. Y'all making me nervous. All these people looking at me. So let's get into my guest. I'm so excited. When he approached me and said he wanted to come on, I was like, absolutely. Absolutely. So this is none other than Charles Chuck Burch Jr. He is a Detroit native and a longtime Dallas resident. He has been a passionate roller skater for over 50 years and a dedicated member of the skating community since the 1980s. In fact, for those of you that have been following the show these last couple of years, he was on the show previously with about, I think it was 5 or 6 other skaters. They all wrote a book. And he came on to talk about that. But more importantly, tonight he is here to talk about his special initiative that he's doing. So beyond skating, he's a seasoned financial expert holding CPA, CFP, and PFS credentials, who now advises clients nationwide on tax, business, and personal financial strategies. He is a graduate of North Carolina A&T. Chuck is also a speaker, mentor, and a scholarship fund director committed to empowering others through education and smart financial planning. You guys, everyone, help me welcome to the virtual stage Mr. Chuck Burch. Hey, sir.
Good evening, good afternoon, where you might be. Happy Friday, if this is your Friday.
Yes. How you doing? You just glowing and smiling?
Always. There's always a reason to be thankful. So I'm
Absolutely.
always thankful.
Absolutely. So I'm so glad you're coming on because I always want to give back, in any way that I can because I was blessed to go to college and graduate. So we always got to turn around and give back, right? Pay it forward, so to speak. So now you're from Detroit, like I am. I claim Cali and Detroit as my home, but what was life like growing up in Detroit? What was your childhood like?
As a child, things were simple. You didn't know what you didn't know. You didn't know what you didn't have.
Uh-huh.
I came up with a loving family. Started off with two parents, ended up in a single parent home. Life was life and then. But hey, I grew up on the west side of Detroit, and with a lot of love, I had this huge extended family. My dad was the baby of 16.
Wow.
Mom was the second oldest of 5, and had a whole bunch of cousins. So early on, life was really simple. You spent a lot of time with family, and as long as you were home by the time the street lights came on, everything was good.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Life was simple back then, not compared to nowadays what these kids got to grow up and deal with now. My goodness. Oh my goodness. So I was reading your bio and you and I talked offline. So you started skating in the 1980s. Who introduced you to it? Did you just say that's something you want to do or?
Well, actually, I started seriously in the
Oh, okay.
1980s. All right. I mean, I was a kid growing up. I'm an OG in the skate world. I got a story. I was first on wheels in the old metal skates. For those
Yes.
that might remember those metal skates that you could slide on with your gym shoes and your sneakers. And, the skates grew as your feet grew. So I rambled around the basement in Detroit. That's a whole nother thing. People who have basements, and then in the backyard in concrete. But I get serious about skating at the time that I started throwing skating parties. Now, in my household, there were some skate legacy, but I didn't know it because skating was simple. But I found out, later in life that my mom and dad met at a skating rink. Didn't know
Oh,
that. My family, those older of that 16 children, they had skated. They were skating for years. Matter of fact, one of my aunts basically opened up the first converted skating rink in Detroit. There was the old Forest Club, and that Forest Club, which was a precursor to Arcadia, started skating. And then they started skating rinks, or they started letting us in the skating rinks. And that's a whole nother story. But I came up with in skating legacy. So I was the kid who had roller skates and could roller skate, even though I wasn't serious about skating. But I got serious in the late 70s, early 80s.
wow. That story sounds so familiar to mine as well. I remember those metal skates you put your gym shoe in and you stretch it out as your I remember that. That's an amazing story. That really, really is. Skating is just I love skating so much, so much. So I see you with your North Carolina A&T shirt on. So what made you decide to go to you said I'm going to go to college, I'm going to be somebody. Like how did that all come about?
Well, being a native of Detroit, you always dream about what else is out there.
Yes.
And in high school, I did entertain some potential in athletics, but I was a good student. And so, influenced by an uncle who was an educator, he said, you ought to apply to some HBCUs. And in
Mm.
Detroit, I'm like, well, what is an HBCU? Because I did not know. There are no HBCUs in Detroit or Michigan for that matter. However, once you were introduced to that, you understood the legacy of a Howard or a Morehouse, a Hampton, or a North Carolina A&T. And I started applying to those schools. And when I started applying to those schools, because I was a good student, I got back a response. As a matter of fact, I got recruited like I thought I was going to get recruited in sports. Because recruiting in academics is serious business too. So once I decided that I wanted to be an accountant, then it was really game on. I was accepted by a number of schools. I had full scholarships to a few schools. Had narrowed it down to Morehouse in Atlanta, and North Carolina A&T in Greensboro. And North Carolina A&T and its offer kind of rose to the top, even though I actually did accept both places. A&T started the second week in August. Morehouse started the third week in August. I convinced my mom to go down sight unseen to both of these places. But by the second day in Greensboro, North Carolina, I told Mom, I'm staying. You can go home. We'll tell Morehouse I'm not coming.
Oh, okay.
And, but for me, it worked out because while I was there, I learned about HBCU life. I learned and grew up. I met some phenomenal people who are friends today. People from Detroit, people from Atlanta, people from all over the country. And actually was able to do some things that ended up being the basis and the foundation of who I am today.
I love it. That's awesome. I love it. Oh my goodness. So, as we were talking, you migrated to Texas. So tell us how you got to bring your golfing, what you love to do, and skating and A&T, and how you bring it all full together.
Hey, again, that experience that I had at an HBCU allowed me to intern in Texas, to meet individuals in my profession, to see some other places. And once I saw some other places, eyes are open. I ended up interning between my junior and senior year in Houston, and I took a job after my senior year in Houston. So by that time, in school, didn't want to forget this, we started throwing skating parties. And skating parties were our fundraiser. And we threw parties like other organizations threw parties, and we outdrew some of those other organizations because skating was unique. So by that time, I was skating and I had a reputation. And then I just carried that whole thing to Houston and basically fit in with the scene in Houston. Houston at that time was growing by leaps and bounds. There were people coming in from every area of the country. And I was a young professional, really ready to go, ready to start life. I worked for a CPA firm, so I had a nice job. But, I'm a good guy. I got involved with the community at that point in time. And then by getting involved with the community, we never missed a beat because now you're helping people as well as doing your thing. And when you help people while you're doing your thing, people come along. And people came along. I and some of my colleagues, we had a great reputation for doing some good things in the community. We actually threw some of the best parties also as young professionals. When you're social, you stay social. But we started making an impact. And that's actually when I started my scholarship effort. Wow. Because what I did is I participated in other people's scholarships initiatives. So I found out, how it was good to get people together for a good cause and the result of that. And for me, since I went to college on a scholarship, I never forgot those people, that group who were unknown to me that poured into me for my scholarship. So as a young professional, I couldn't wait to participate in those events. And Texas being kind of wide open, you could, look, a person with some skills, if you can't make it in Texas, you can't make it. Ooh. And so got together with some like-minded people, and we started doing some great things. One, in the name of HBCUs, two, in the name of community, three, in the name of being a finance kind of accounting professional, because that's unique. Finding us together to be able to get together to do some good things. So
I love it.
Texas was good for me.
I love it. I love it. So, along with all that, you've got an actual scholarship. You call it Skating for Scholarships. Tell us what that event is going to be like in December. We saw your ad on a couple of minutes ago. What is that going to be like? It sounds like it's going to be exciting.
We're looking forward to our 12th year of
Whoa.
Skating for Scholarships. This will be our 12th year of doing it. What started off as a one-night event with a few friends raising money for scholarships grew to 2, then to 3, then to 5 nights. And
Wow.
now it is a nationwide initiative. I'll have individuals from all over the country coming to 5 nights, 4 different skating rink locations, and some other events in between the skating. We're going to be giving lessons. We're going to be involved with a community service event. We're going to support the community. I'm going to be able to tell people where to go, where to eat, how to navigate through Texas. And I can't think of a better place to be in December than Texas, because in December, weather's still going to be mild. People are going to be happy. This event, again, has just gotten momentum, and looking forward to really culminating an event that's different, where we are raising money for scholarships. It is a scholarship fundraiser, but we are going to be awarding on-the-spot scholarships to students that attend.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So it sounds like to me, all you college kids out there, y'all better lace up, find a way to Texas.
Hey, they find it's interesting you say that, because now that we've been doing it for a few years, people know. They know that, hey, you can come skating and you can walk away with a scholarship.
Ooh.
And if you didn't win the first night, you got 5 nights to do it. But more importantly, it also then becomes an entryway into something even bigger than the scholarships, because individuals that are there who want to are part of our mentoring program, where we pour into them with skills, life skills, how to advocate for yourself, how to find a mentor, how to be the best student you can be, to be the best young professionals. And since we've been doing this for 12 years, some of the people who I gave scholarships to 12 years ago, they come back. They're coming back with, whatever it is that they have accomplished over time. And so it's really a big love fest. Also, since I am an OG in the skating community really comes together because I am able to get rink owners to participate. I'm able to get skate groups and skate clubs to participate. We'll have DJs, have special DJs from all over the country. They'll come in. So it is a time and a place that if you have an opportunity, that's where you should be. You should be in Texas, December 10th through the 14th. No better place to be.
Well, I know I'm gonna definitely try to come. You're right. December, in Georgia, it gets cold, but I would assume Texas is much warmer in December than Georgia.
It is.
And it's such a selfless act, and you and I were talking offline as well. And I hope you don't mind me asking you this. It's kind of personal, but I think it's important to mention that you are a cancer survivor. So as you've gone through personal health challenges, you still have found a way to give back. Share a little bit of that with us if you don't mind.
Absolutely. People don't know that cancer can appear on anyone's doorsteps. And whether you're male, you're a female, whether you're healthy or active, whether your family has a trait or not, cancer can show up. And cancer showed up to me 2 years ago. And for a while, I was very private about it. However, I was encouraged by some individuals who were close to me that, hey, share my journey, share my diagnosis, because you might be able to help someone, because I am somewhat influential. So, a couple of years after finding out what I had and figuring out what my options were, and going through every stage of physical and mental challenges, I decided on a treatment, and I just jumped in. I did the treatment that was necessary for me. It was radiation, but I didn't miss a beat because the doc said I didn't have to miss a beat. So I still skated. I still was active in the community. Might have been a little thinner, but that's come back. But I became an advocate for health, in particular men's health. Brothers, if you hear, look, get checked, take care of it, because we have a responsibility to be around, and sometimes we can't let our pride stand in the way of checking out things, treating things, and then telling people about it. And so since it's been 2 years since that diagnosis to treatment, and now I'm 100% cancer free right now, praise him. And I speak often about the importance of our own physical health, which has a direct impact on our mental health.
That's awesome. I mean, it's not awesome that you went through that, but it's a blessing that God carried you through it. I'm a firm believer that when you give back and you're a good person, a good heart, like you are, God will bless you and carry you through whatever adversity that you go up against. So that's awesome that you're sharing your story, because you're right. There could be somebody listening that haven't gone and got their regular checkups that could, get them to thinking, yeah, let me go get checked. So in amongst all of that going on, you're still skating, you're still giving back, and trying to raise money for your scholarship fund. That is awesome. Oh my goodness. You must have an S on your chest, Superman, right? Because you're just doing so much. I just, wow. So you guys make sure you ask any questions about scholarships. I know that you and I also talked to Chuck that when people cut a check for the scholarship fund, it is tax deductible. Please tell us about I think it's a 501c. I think that's what you were saying.
Absolutely. I, being an accountant and CPA, I know the tricks of the trade, and they're not really tricks. They're what a lot of organizations use to raise money. My organization, the Chuck Burch Scholarship Fund, is a 501c3 nonprofit. So it's a registered charity. And any donations or contributions to it are 100% tax deductible. Now, you should not contribute just because you get a tax deduction.
Right.
You should contribute because there's some greater good based on your contribution. We spend money on anything that we want to. Right. However, to make sure that happens, we're able to do that. And since then, last year, we actually raised and awarded $64,000 in scholarships, which means we raised the money and we gave it away in the same year. Wow. So this year, with some friends, with this platform that we have here, hopefully you visiting Texas and all of our the individuals who are viewing in, whether you can come or not to give, we have a goal of $100,000. And Lord willing, we're going to make it, which means we're going to make a huge impact on students, because if you have attended college or have contemplated attending college, you know that cost is real.
Yes.
And so anything that can be done to help that is usually greatly appreciated. And I give the responsibility that, hey, you don't have to give back to me. Just go pay it forward. Go help someone else. And so this Skating for Scholarships thing and my scholarship fund is kind of a movement now. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to San Francisco, and we're going to have a Skating for Scholarships in the Bay. We've talked to some people in Atlanta. So hopefully we can bring that show on the road. But more importantly, finding a way to give that is a direct impact, is a tax deduction, and makes a difference in someone's life now. This money don't just sit in the bank. This money is turned, and it is an example. And it has to be. The game's changed a little bit. We have to be our own village. We have to be able to help our own so that we don't have any excuses about what's not happening. I know in your Hot Topics, you had touched upon some of those things. And the the thing how you get past the hot topics is that you take responsibility with what you can take responsibility for and act. And so I thank you, for bringing this platform, because it's important for people like me and your other guests, to be able to express whatever it is that's important. And you are part of the village of paying this whole thing forward. So I greatly appreciate you and everything that you do.
Well, thank you for that, Chuck. I truly appreciate that because a lot of work goes into the show from my husband and people that help us. Just this is our way of giving back, right? Getting people's businesses and causes and information out there. As we were growing up, because you and I, we were around the same age, kind of, sort of. As we were growing up, it was during a time where if you were outside playing and you did something you wasn't supposed to do, the neighbor was going to call your mama and the village, right? The village kept us straight. And so in this regard, things obviously have changed, but in this regard with college and expenses, you're correct. We all need to come together and try to get these young folks off to school that want to go off to school, because you definitely need something, you need some kind of trade or degree or something to be competitive in this today's work environment. Definitely.
You touched upon a point, again, these days, it doesn't necessarily have to be a degree. It can be a trade. It can be a designation. It could be a certification. It can be something that advances your knowledge. You mentioned AI. Sure, with the proliferation of AI, you can get answers to things, but how do those answers apply to you? Well, somebody has got to be able to interpret that. Somebody's got to be able to do the work. And so what we're trying to do is invest in those who want to do the work. If you want to do the work, we're going to help you be the best worker that you can. And that seems to resonate with, organizations and companies and just individuals. And if we can make it fun, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it fun. I mean, you got the skating party, go out and have a good time at skating. I have a golf tournament in October. We do that. We have a picnic. We got this huge picnic coming up in a few weeks. Come and get some food, give a little bit of money. We're going to raise, we're going to give away a lot of money at some of these events because it doesn't all happen at one time. And at the end of the day and at the end of the year, we pray that number be $100,000 of impact to hundreds of students.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. Before we wrap up, if you don't mind sharing the story, you were telling me offline about a young lady that you had helped with a scholarship. And she said, now that she's done, she wants to come back and help you with your marketing and your digital, all of that. Please share that story. That's amazing.
It is a blessing when individuals who you give to have skills. And ladies and gentlemen, our young people have skills. They can do some things on their phone and on their computer that we would only imagine, because that's where they are. One young lady who I gave a scholarship to just for showing up at an event was so thankful for that. In me asking, well, hey, look, all I want you to do is not get back to me, but pay it forward. And she came to me and said, Mr. Burch, I actually have a skill that might be interesting to you, and that I am very skilled in social media, in content creation, and I do this for a number of other entities. And so you gave to me without me even asking. I didn't even know. So let me give back to you and help you with the things you have going forward. And so she, in a week's time, has jumped in full force. And if you follow me, and I know there'll be a way to follow me, you're going to see the results of some of that work. And that story is multiplied over and over and over again. Sometimes we got to ask. Sometimes we got to remind people what the responsibility is. But when you do that, young people will rise. And in this case, this young lady has risen to be an important part of my organization and some of the activity going forward.
That's wonderful. That is a blessing. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. That just warms my heart to hear that story. That that people are like, "Thank you so much, and this is what I'm gonna do to help and give back." Absolutely. Do you guys have any questions for Mr. Chuck here? Oh, so Carla's saying skating for scholarships donation website. Oh yes, ma'am. Let's put that up for her so she can get that information. And Chuck, for those, sometimes people are cleaning house and whatever, they're listening and not watching. Please tell people how they can follow you, how they can get some information to you or stroke a check, all that good stuff.
You can follow me on all platforms. I'm either Chuck Burch, Burch, or Chuck Burch CPA. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, X. I'm everywhere. And most times you'll see this profile picture. So if there's another Chuck Burch that doesn't look like me, and that's not me. There are some other Chuck Burches out there, but usually I'll come to the top. I do have a website called Chuck Burch Scholarship Fund.org. And also I have a website called skatingforscholarships.org. Both ways you can direct message me. I will answer those messages. I'm public. You can find me. I'm not hiding. And many times I'm going to pop up and show up in your town. And if I pop up and show up in your town, please act like you know me and come up to me. I'll certainly come up to you. And I look forward to expanding this village. I'll call this village that started with Let's Talk, but just continues on and on and on and on. And I see some friends who have popped in some messages, and I look forward to seeing you, but I also look forward to you contributing, to the event, and bring someone with you. Kojak, man, I love you. You and Leti, I am looking forward to not only seeing all of you, but seeing your influence, because your influence makes us all helpful to each other.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Any closing words, that anything you want to tell us? The comments are coming in here. Anything else you want to share with us, Chuck? Well, let me share this with you. Let me give you my 2 cents. Thank you so much for doing this, because I am a recipient. When I went to school, somebody helped me. So thank you for doing this. I put my daughter through school. So, just thank you for what you're doing. Let me give you your flowers and just commend you for everything. And I'm going to do everything I can to get down there to help you, support you. And you guys, y'all show them some love, support, because we got to start helping each other, because a lot of the things that was once in place to help our community are no longer there. So we got to help each other. Definitely.
Yeah, and that's final. And those are final words, that we got to help each other.
Yes.
And this effort is a way to help each other. Even if you don't attend, you can't attend. Matter of fact, once you start getting into the Skating for Scholarships, you go on the website, you dig through. There's a way that everyone can participate. If you can't make it, and we want you to come to Texas, we give you 6 months notice. You can also participate virtually. You can, yes, ma'am, you can put together your 30-second or less video, send it to me, and I will play you at the event. Send the video and a little donation, please.
Okay.
But I will make sure that you have a presence at the event, and you will have all full rights and privileges, because there's always some fun things that happen while we're there and even after the event. So want to make sure that, people thinking, oh, yeah, but I don't know if I can get to Texas. Don't worry about it. We got you covered. And so I want you to dig in. I want you to look at the tickets, the ticket types. Tickets will be available on Eventbrite. There's a way to submit your video, and I promise you, we'll put you on.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Chuck. And as we get closer to the event, please come back on and just give another shout out, remind everybody, and I will run your ad so that people can always keep it in the forefront of their mind. So thank you so much for coming on Let's Talk, and we will definitely support you. And I think what you're doing is amazing. It's amazing.
Ditto. Same thing here.
Okay. Talk with you soon.
Thank you. Y'all take
Thank
care.
you. Okay. Bye-bye. So you guys, that was Mr. Chuck Burch. Definitely support him in his endeavors with helping these young people get to school. As we mentioned earlier, a lot of things that were once in place to help some of these students have been taken away. So we as a village need to come together and help our young people get to school and get to whether certification or trade, college degrees. We got to definitely step in to help. Every little bit helps, every little bit. So as we close out the show, thank you so much, Mr. Chuck Burch, for coming on Let's Talk. As we close out the show and leave you some positive thoughts, this positive thought, as you guys know, I always say how to survive in 2025. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That's an infamous saying that you hear all the time, but it's so true. If you're getting rumblings that there may be layoffs in your company, get your resume ready. Don't wait until it happens. Just get your resume ready and just be prepared. You just got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And I hope that doesn't happen to anyone out there, but that's the realization and the world that we're living in now. Okay. Also, this is another positive word by yours truly. I was thinking about it. I prayed on and I thought about what would be a good positive note to share with you guys. And this is what I came up with. And it's basically, I wrote it out. It says, your actions today can shape the lives of your children, your grandchildren, and generations to come. When your descendants speak of you, what kind of legacy will they share? Are you giving back? Are you making a difference? Are you living with purpose? Even if your past holds mistakes, change is always possible through the grace of God. Remember, your choices define your legacy. Do the right thing even when no one is watching. It's called integrity. That is from me. And as I tell you guys each and every week or each and every time we go live, do one good thing for one person each day and you can affect 365 lives. The next time we go live will be next month. And I'm so happy that YouTube is on watching, and we're going to roll it out to the other social medias as well. So you guys, if no one's told you they love you, know that I love you. Guys, stay safe out there. Have a wonderful 4th of July, depending on how you decide to celebrate it. Have a nice holiday and know that I love you if no one's told you they love you. And with those words, I'm out.